Welcome everyone to Voice of Adventures for PlayStation 4.
EU.
This is the European one. My name is Shirna.
My name is Trent.
And today we're going to be going through a lot of super serious feedback. As you can see, we are clearly being super serious right now. So guys, thank you for joining us. Just to give a bit of a heads up on, I'm going to have to take this out. I can't see over the nose. It's like right in my... Okay,
the hood doesn't reach over my hair.
Okay, so, if you don't know what Voice of Adventurers is, Voice of Adventurers is basically where we sit here, no gameplay, and we just talk and listen to you guys. Do you want to go over a little bit more of what goes behind the Voice of Adventurers?
Okay, so basically we had a survey put out, I believe a week and a half ago or 2 weeks ago.
Yep.
Right? And those questions were designed to be slightly general. And we took those answers, we're going to talk about them today so that we can go into more detail about those answers. Then with the VOA, we have our lovely mods in chat, community managers, GMs and whatnot. We're going to collect all this feedback after we talk about it, compile it, get it ready, and then talk to the people who need to be talked to.
Yeah, so just to give a little bit of information about what we do with this, we had Xbox last week.
Yes.
And we have taken that, we've given it to the developers. We're working on polishing up some stuff with their responses and just making sure that everything is ready for you guys to see or to read. And we'll be doing the same for PlayStation. So once the stream is done, once we get all your information, we will be passing that forward to the developers. Just general ideas and what you're looking for and how we can help improve the game. But these changes, if there are changes made due to this, they are not going to be quick changes. They generally take quite a while to develop. For example, the first VOA that we did, I think we got most of the big ones.
Most of the changes and stuff that we were wanting. Just things like there were some issues that users were really worried about. We got them to the devs, and a lot of things did come from it. So we're really excited about this one as well.
Yep, and just to make sure everyone knows, during the after this, I will not be here. I'm going to be disappearing for 2 weeks. I'm going back to my homelands in Dudley, of all the places, and spending some time with family for the first time in about 3 years. So Trent here is going to have an absolute ton of work to do to try and keep up. So we may be we probably will be very quiet on our end at least. We won't be doing any streams and that kind of good stuff.
And because this VOA is going to be the last that we'll see of Shirna for about 2 weeks, maybe 3 weeks, we kind of want to get up ready and look stylish for this.
Yep, as you can see, we've got the Snuggies on. So I actually intended to wear the Eeyore one since, I have, you've seen my donkey on my desk. And people who've been following for a long time would have seen my desk quite a while ago. But unfortunately, that is not designed for a human being.
Yep.
Which is why it fits you perfectly.
Yep.
Okay, so...
I'm miniature-sized. Right? So that being said...
Halfling sized.
So that being said, the way that this VOA works is that we go over some of the topics, we give you some of the numbers from the survey, we talk about in-depth, we're looking at chat, we have our screens right here, we're taking a look at chat, answering questions, talking about it more in depth, and let's go from there.
Yeah, pretty much. Okay, so if your question, actually I do want to point this out, if your question doesn't get answered by us or we don't talk about it, doesn't mean it is being ignored. We are collecting everything. We have a bunch of people who are solely just collecting information from chat, writing it down, and making sure that it gets done and that we know about it. There is one more thing I want to say, invisible walls and performance issues like that. We'll be talking about it probably later on.
Yeah, where we talk about some of the priorities going forward.
But just want to say that we are working on getting this fixed. It's not like some people believe it's a server issue. It is not just a server issue. It's mostly rendering, which is CPU, GPU side. It's mostly PlayStation side. So we're going to be working on building up the optimization in the near future, hopefully. No idea when yet.
Yeah.
But when it is there, we will be letting you guys know. It is a priority of our developers. They do want to make sure that the game runs as nicely as possible. I don't know about... So I heard someone say... what did they say? Oh, it's been worse since the Valencia patch?
Yeah. Wait, the invisible walls?
Yeah.
No, since the Valencia patch, people have said that they experienced less invisible walls in areas like Calpheon where there was a lot. GM Costa's looking at me like he doesn't believe this. No, so in Calpheon they experienced less invisible walls, but they do appear in Valencia as well.
Okay.
Right?
So we just kind of like redecorated and moved those invisible walls somewhere else?
Yeah, pretty much. So that's something that we're going to be taking a look at today. But let's get started with this thing?
Yeah. Let's get started. So the first topic of discussion today will be PvP versus PvE content. Now, of the people who responded, 79.6% of respondees, is that the right word? It's respondents, right? Sorry, it is 3 o'clock in the morning. So 79.6% of respondents prefer PvE over PvP.
Right.
So if you're not very good at maths, that means that 20.4% of users enjoy the PvP content more. So what this means is basically...
There's two things that comes from this.
Yeah.
Right? One is a lot of people are enjoying PvE and we want to know what can we do to make that better, right? This also means that there's not as many people who enjoy the PvP content and we want to know what we can do to improve the PvP side of things.
Yeah.
Right? So to start with, let's get into PvE.
Yep.
Okay.
So with the PvE, it's kind of a little bit of a surprise for us. We were expecting probably a bigger swing. Like we were expecting PvE to be slightly ahead.
Yeah, because just as OG the Enigma just says, Xbox had during the Xbox VOA, we said that there was a bigger swing towards PvE for Xbox users. It's slightly lower on PlayStation, but
by about 10%.
Yeah, so we kind of want to take a look into that.
So we weren't expecting it to be as swingy as it was, like the 80%. We were expecting like 40-60.
Right.
Either way, I was expecting PvP maybe to be slightly more ahead.
Yeah.
But then, like, you know, I had the realization that I don't really PvP all too much.
I talk like I do PvP. And then when someone flags up and there's like a small hit, I run. Suddenly start screaming, I'm a PvE player, I'm the life skiller, please don't touch me. As soon as they stop, I start talking trash again. Anyways, our first question is...
I forgot what the first question is. What do we need to wait? Okay. What is it that you guys enjoy about PvE? I realized where we were in the stream. I was trying to read chat at the same time.
Yeah, sorry.
I didn't know you were going to throw that onto me.
So that was mine.
So crafting actually comes up. I enjoy the crafting.
Yeah. So guys, just throw it up in chat. We're going to get to each one as we can. What do you guys enjoy most about PvE? Someone said...
Crafting. Which is interesting.
Crafting?
Yeah.
Okay.
Crafting. Which is weird for me because I do crafting. Yeah. I don't know if I enjoy it. I still kind of like hit or miss with crafting at least.
I like it to a certain extent. I like it when other people do it for me, so I can buy their merchant wagons and stuff. I still haven't bought one. I really want to buy one, but yeah.
Someone said I enjoy killing PvE players. Does that count?
That does not count.
No, doesn't count as PvE content.
But we will talk about it in a bit.
So with the crafting, I do see people talk about things like, how is it really me doing the crafting when I have to employ workers to do it? Or I have to, you know, I don't really do anything with crafting. I just send them to go and do it. So it's one of those things where if it was real life, and you were, let's say, a super powerful wizard, would you bother yourself with making fishing rods?
I mean, Would I? You mean
If
just
you
generally?
were the wizard,
The all-powerful wizard?
if you were the all-powerful wizard, would you bother yourself to craft your own fishing rod?
Yeah, that's true.
So
Yes,
that's
true.
that's kind of how I don't know if I'd say justify it, but that's how I think about it. I think like, you know, I'm a Zerk. I have 2 axes. I can't use them for chopping wood, funnily enough. So yeah, I that's how I always look at it.
Someone was saying that and I think you can touch on this. Someone earlier, sorry, I wish I could say the username. I can't remember right now. Crafting is fun and it's rewarding, but the money that you get back from it isn't, because the raw materials will sell for more than the finished product itself.
It depends on what you're crafting.
Okay.
If you're crafting things like the blue life skill tools, you're not really looking for the normal tool. You're hoping for a lucky proc.
Okay.
To get the not shining. Is it shining?
Oh,
Shining steel dagger. It's either shining steel dagger or lucky steel dagger.
Okay.
And that sells for considerably more than the raw materials.
Okay.
So you're aiming for those special procs. And it depends how the market is working right now. If people are buying those life skill tools, you'll make more money than you would if there's like an overbearing or just no one really doing gathering.
Right.
Butcher's knives generally sell pretty well from my experience, because it's one of the easier things to gather. I don't know if you guys know, but Goat Mountain is pretty good for getting meat, which is then used for cooking. So butcher knives are actually kind of useful to craft. So
yeah, someone else was saying that with crafting they enjoy it because there's multiple types of materials to craft, whereas like there's other experiences where they've only had like 1 or 2 items. You match it together, you get a wagon all of a sudden. Whereas in this one there's more items and stuff. It forces you to think a little bit more. So some people do enjoy that, which I really very appreciative of.
Yeah, so the first question for people who are like, what is the first question? The first question is, what do you guys enjoy about PvE?
Yeah,
So
whether
most-
that's life skilling, mobbing, world bosses.
So someone actually says story and questing for me personally.
Story and questing.
Story is interesting. Story has had a very interesting development.
Who is it?
OG the Enigma.
Okay.
So
Is there a particular story that you enjoy? That'd actually be really helpful to know.
yeah, like
Like a
the
certain quest
story,
line.
like if you guys enjoy the story and the change story, if I need to.
Does someone say story? The lore group comes popping out all of a sudden. Interesting. Okay.
So if there are certain aspects of story or anything like that, if you enjoy the story, let us know so we can tell the people behind the story that their work is not being kind of ignored.
Yeah.
Because I know, especially in, like, I hate to say this, but after my first playthrough, I spammed through everything.
After the first one?
Yeah. I know you just spammed through everything anyway.
No. I actually read it. I read the main quest storylines. I don't read what Igor Battaglia has to tell me about farming and stuff.
But that's important to know, man. It's important to know about farming.
I lost an heirloom. Can you go find it? Kill 15 imps. I have no reason to know that story.
That's not the console version.
That's true.
Actually, no, it is.
It
You have-
is.
You have to
The
go
number
kill-
is scaled.
Yeah, the number is scaled. Yeah, you have to go. What is it? Find the lost ring or whatever
Yeah.
it is. Oh man.
Yeah.
That's one of the weird ones. So yeah, the story is interesting actually. People enjoy the world exploring. I did see one NPC knowledge. Got to catch them all. NPC knowledge.
I'm into that right now a lot.
Do you read the strings though? Do you read the entries that come in? Do you ever read the entries and find out more about the NPCs?
No, for me it's the node collection and getting that kind of knowledge
Okay.
of the location and then finding the node manager. Rumbling Lands was the hardest one that I had to find. Oh my god, Rumbling Lands was horrible. But yeah, I like every little bit of story and every quest. Main story still needs to finish its rework. I know who you are.
Yeah, the main story still needs to finish a rework.
Side plots that we need a more developed story that isn't the main one. Side plots that affect how people react to you. We will talk about that a little bit later in Voice of Adventures, actually.
With what content would you like
Like
to
expanded on.
Expanded on?
Yeah.
Not so much this time actually.
BDO is PvP, don't ruin the game. This is BD console, right?
So, okay, I get your point.
Yeah.
That Black Desert Online is a PvP game, but the PvP has been kind of built up, and it does get refined.
Yeah.
The people in charge of PvP are not in charge of the PvE. So one is like the story team, the quest guys, I guess, are the same, but they do work regardless of if PvP is changing or that kind of stuff. So PvP, you know, we understand that it's a core aspect of the game, and we're not going to just remove PvP.
Yeah.
And it's not like we want to ignore PvP, especially like 20.4% of people enjoy it.
Yeah.
We want to bring that number up as well.
Yeah.
So we don't want to, you know, it sounds weird because that would bring PvE down.
Yeah.
But we do want to bring that PvP number up as well, which is the next set of questions.
Yeah, it's like what we just said a little bit earlier, where, like, you know, these numbers, and this is in English, right?
Yeah.
These are English results, but it was pretty consistent with the Korean results, Japanese results, French, and German.
Yeah.
And what this tells us is there's a lot of people who enjoy PvE and want to see more of it, and so we want to help bring that up. It also shows us that for PvP, there's not as many people enjoying it, and we want to bring that up too to help people enjoy both aspects of the game. Right?
Yeah, 100%. I like a little bit of story in every quest. So sometimes it's really hard. So we were talking about knowledge, like the knowledge stuff.
We'll get to it back in a bit.
I worked hard on some of those, and then nobody ever reads them.
I'll read them.
No, you don't.
I will.
You didn't read every single one of the fish entries that I redid, man. I sat there for hours researching fish.
Did you actually do the fish entries?
Yeah, I did. I did about half. I got halfway through.
You realize that I don't actually fish that often, right?
I know. It hurts. It hurts. So yeah, the stories. That's something that was kind of started recently with PC, with the adventure log, which is something which should be coming in the near future. So basically the adventure log was kind of dipping toes in, I would say. This not what I know of the developers, this is what I'm assuming, because it came along at the same time as the renewals. The Balanos story, the Serendia, Calpheon, Media stories change. So it felt like it was at that time where they were just dipping their toes into the PvE story kind of stuff, like how can we change this, how can we change that. So hopefully there will be more of that. It's something that we do take to the developers and say, like, guys, like, you know, a lot of people do enjoy the PvE, and, you know, we do want to make it more fun. We want to continue to build on that. So, you know, we do tell them, like, you know, maybe it's time we actually conclude a storyline once every now and then, instead of just having these dangling ropes of story that just never end. So, for example, the end of Valencia. Oh, well, that's a bit of a spoiler. All right. The end of Media. Did anything really conclude?
Is Jordine still out there in the world?
I know the answer to that.
I know it.
Yeah. But those stories don't have ends. And, like, you know, that's the thing that we say. Like, maybe it's time to start introducing, like, smaller pieces of story that have the endings. Dungeons for all OP range and raids.
Okay, so let's talk about that, because I see it a lot, and I wrote it down.
Yeah.
This came up in previous VOAs as well for console, where PvE, dungeons, and raids. So for that, I don't want to dismiss the idea, right? When you guys say PvE, dungeons, and raids, what kind of concepts are you looking for, right? What kind of, I guess, like, enemies, how would it tie to the story and stuff? What exactly are you looking for through the PvE, dungeons, and raids? Because through this, the reason why we want to do this VOA is so we can get detailed information. Saying dungeons over and over again gives us a very slight hint as to what you want, but people have it differently.
Well, I mean, you got to consider, like, how wide the dungeon spectrum is, because you've got dungeons, your classic MMO dungeons like World of Warcraft, kind of Guild Wars 2, Guild Wars 1 definitely had more classic dungeons. And then you have, like, the dungeons that EVE Online had,
Mm-hmm.
which were like warp gates that you go in. It's open world. You warp to a point. You warp to the next point. Kill everything there. Warp to the next point. Kill everything there. So there's a lot of different styles of dungeon. I think WildStar. I didn't play that much of it while it was around, but I think WildStar had a very different dungeon system too. So,
yeah, someone just said in chat as well, there's something called Ultra Blood that is a different form of dungeon, basically.
Yeah.
Right? And that'd be kind of cool for that, I guess. What else? There was something I saw. I really want to get back to it. OG the Enigma said, I think part of the issue with how the story is presented, people are always talking to you while your character says nothing back. And I think, for me, I don't mind it as much, but I know people who do, because my brother hates that.
Yeah.
My brother hates the
silent protagonist.
But for me, I played Chrono Trigger. Everyone talks around you.
Yeah. Yeah.
Right? You die, and then you get brought back, and you're still a mute.
Spoilers, man. Like, it's been 30 years. All right, I haven't completed it. Thanks for ruining the story. So
that was one, and also this ties into something else. Sorry, knowledge. To make it slightly easier to find knowledge, because you're not taught that at all, right?
Mm-hmm.
And that's what I think some people were kind of, I guess, having troubles with knowledge and nodes and stuff.
Yeah.
Right? So, yeah.
So someone just saying, copy the system. That's not how it works.
What? Copy the system?
So they were saying that ESO has great dungeons raid systems. Copy that. That's not how it works. I don't know how it works at other companies, but at PearlAbyss, they try not to, you don't copy something. You have to make it yourself. And, it does take time to develop. We're talking about it now hypothetically. We don't know if this will ever come. It's something that we can ask for. Like Altar of Blood, as you mentioned earlier, is kind of that system where it's like a multi-level, I think it's 9 levels it goes up to. Each level gets progressively harder. So it's a little bit more like a tower. Like the tower levels that you get where you climb up, clear mobs, climb up, clear mobs, defend the center. So that's kind of a step in that direction. So, there was a lot of positive feedback with Altar of Blood. And then, this is the problem with dungeons. You create a dungeon, you do it until you get what you need, and then you bounce.
And you never do that again.
You never bounce. You never return.
Yeah.
So, I got what I needed out of dungeons in other games, and then I never returned. Even if there's, multiple branching paths that you can go through, never go back. It's one of those things.
Yeah, I get that.
Yeah.
Right. Anything else on the topic of PvE content? Things that you enjoy, things that you want to, what aspects of it do you really enjoy?
Wait, what?
Rewards?
The rewards? Rewards are things that, that's one of the hardest things to balance in any game. Because if you make it too good, you break the game. If you make it too bad, nobody does it.
Right.
So rewards are really, really hard to balance. And we get to look at this ever so slightly. We look at this in a different way.
Yeah.
When we do GM events or CM events or anything like that, we look at rewards. Yeah. We're like, hey guys, we want to give this.
Yeah.
And then it's like, dude, that's ridiculously powerful for that.
And it's only for the Zerk. You have to give it for everyone.
Unfortunately, yeah. I tried to give everyone Pen Kazarka axes. I was told to just go, get out. Don't come near. Ever again. Don't talk to me or my sister again.
For those of you who are giving detailed responses about what kind of dungeon stuff you'd like to see, thank you. We're taking that down.
Yeah,
from our lovely mods, CMs, and GMs.
Yeah, it's being noted.
There was one that I wanted to kind of touch on. Sorry, there's two things. I can't find it right now. But one is voice acting for the story. So if you ever get the chance to see the first VOA ever for console, we did some voice acting. Some of you in chat will know about this.
Yeah, we did voice acting because we accidentally used the silent trailer and not the one with sound. And let's just say, nothing in Black Desert has ever come quite close to the level of just pure professionalism and passion and downright stupidness of that voiceover. I mean,
oh man.
Okay.
Yeah. Zerg needs to be nerfed. Zerg doesn't need to be nerfed.
Zerg needs a buff, man. Zerg is not a problem, noobs. Stop hating. I couldn't agree more.
Jesus. But
okay.
Yeah, I do like some of these ideas that are coming out right now. Co-op missions.
Things have started to actually. I like co-op missions actually.
So who wrote that? Wiser
Blood
Wolf. Oh, I'm so sorry, I butchered your name. All right, Wiser. Can you expand on the co-op missions? What kind of stuff do you want to see? Because right now we have party missions, right? Like you can do a mission or a quest as a party. Yeah. And I kind of want to see more.
So I guess it's more difficult styles of that, like more ways to build up like a party and think about the compositions maybe. I think that's what co-op would be. Like maybe you have to do certain things at the same time, like more puzzle based.
Oh.
So if you played like Dungeons and Dragons, you know that when you dungeon dive, it's not just clear wave after wave after wave after wave. There's puzzles in there. There's like stand in a certain spot, cast a certain spell.
Yeah.
Like stand on this spot, use something with fire. Stand on this one, use something with water. You stand on this one, use something with earth.
Okay.
Like maybe co-op like that where you can.
But that would be very class specific, wouldn't it? But I get what you mean. Yeah. In that example, it's very class specific. But I get what you mean to cooperate to complete something.
Yeah. Or if someone stands on one and does a skill that has a knockdown.
Yeah.
Someone stands on another and has a skill that does a knock up.
Ooh.
And then another one that stands on the other one that does stiffness. Like, and then you combine them, and then Captain Planet comes out of nowhere and just like obliterates everyone. Costa's laughing in the background. I am really surprised Costa knows Captain Planet.
Captain Planet's beautiful.
Captain Planet is beautiful.
Okay. Who's your favorite Planeteer?
I didn't have one. I hated them all. Just Captain Planet was the only one. The only good thing about that show. Everyone else is terrible.
Did you ever watch? Sorry, this is really off topic. Did you ever watch the episode where there's Captain Pollution?
Yes.
Like it's all like the trash rings. That was awesome. Anyways.
Okay. So, duo PvP mode, 2v2. You can do that if you party up and then go against two other people, and you can go into the battle arena and do it. But let's bring us on to probably what most people here were talking about.
Before we get to that, I do like something where someone was saying like class specific is good because it makes you want to try other classes. And for me, it's more like, I think class specific missions, like you need fire elements here, you need earth elements here. Who do you go to, right?
The only class you can go to.
Zerg. So
wait. I was gonna say which Wiz, because they're the only ones who really have true element skills.
I'm just gonna choose Zerg for everything. But yeah, like you get like element skills and specific classes because it makes you want to find other witches and other wizards if you're not one yourself.
But I mean, the biggest problem with things like that is that you get classes which are just left out to die in the rain.
Oh, fair enough.
Like I've seen that happen. It's like, we need to clear this as quickly as possible. Please, no rangers. This was another game I played. Or it was like, no pet rangers. If I say pet rangers, probably most people would get that I'm talking about a specific game that's called Guild Wars 2.
Yeah.
Like, I remember just being kind of left out in a lot of raids and dungeons just because I didn't play the optimum class.
Okay.
So there is that issue as well. That like,
I didn't think of that, but thank you guys for that. If you guys want, keep throwing out those ideas, but
so a lot of people are talking about PvP.
Yeah, so let's get to that section.
So it seems there's been a very decent switch in chat where people are like, oh yeah, PvE 80%, yeah, PvP boys. We know that PvP is one of the biggest, I don't want to say draws, but it is a draw, right? Open world PvP, there's structured PvP, let's not use that S word there.
Yeah.
There's other forms of PvP. We know this. We understand that it's a big thing, and with only 20% of people enjoying it as much, we do want to look at ideas to raise it. So people are talking about Guild versus Guild Weekly, which is very hard to do. Like that's very difficult to do for the fact that, you know, you got to get the guilds together at the same time. And like, if let's say we choose a Wednesday when one of the guilds, you know, only plays on Wednesday, and the other guild, like, their main Node War day is like a Tuesday, and then if they're feeling like it, they do one on a Friday if they have time.
Yeah.
And then they skip Node and Siege Wars altogether because the weekend is not when they're online. So then you're going to have an issue of like, when do you schedule it in? You could do it so that they enter a queue, but then if it's guild versus guild, it's going to be 100 versus 100. Getting 100 people in chat at the same time is difficult. You know, like, that would be difficult. Maybe if it was just a certain amount of people from a guild.
Okay.
So yeah, I like guild versus guild. 3 versus 3 and 5 versus 5 is something that we actually like the sound of.
Yeah. It's a remnant from my previous project.
Ugh, let's not talk about that.
But no, I really do like the idea of 3v3, 5v5. Yeah, I really do want that to happen. There was someone saying about hardly, because we talked about this before, about the like King of the Hill type style.
Yeah.
If you're the best PvPer, right, you should be able to be dethroned. Yeah. Like, basically like Afro Samurai. Have you seen Afro Samurai?
No, I never watched it.
Oh, okay. So.
I'm not a weeb.
Ooh. Says the man wearing the onesie.
Without the hat.
Oh, fair enough. That takes the status away. I like the King of the Hill idea. I think that can be pushed towards Red Battlefield as well.
Yes, something like that.
So I actually want to ask you guys. So for Red Battlefield, someone noted that there aren't as many participants in it. What are some things that we can do to improve Red Battlefield, other than incentives?
Yeah. So actually,
incentives is something we thought of.
That is actually something that came up here. Like, if you want more people to do PvP, you got to sell PvP more. What are the benefits of PvP? So Node Wars, you have things like the silver payouts. Right? You get the tax payouts. Calpheon right now isn't going to be paying max payout because it only just got added. It's going to pay out less this week and then more next week. Before people start talking about that. So Node Wars does that. Conquest Wars, very much the same thing. Bigger scale, bigger rewards. But again, Calpheon, I think Calpheon Media, no, not Media. Calpheon Balanos Serendia this week. The payout is going to be low in Conquest Wars, I think. That's what I've been told before. So with Node Wars and stuff, like, it's that. But so going through new map, make it so you can switch teams. New map is actually something that we've talked about. Yeah. And new game modes as well was another one that we can talk about.
There's a few in there. So gear score brackets, so it helps like newbies get in. I'll talk about that in a sec. But the one that I really liked is a quest line that introduces Red Battlefield. Because if I'm new to the game and I've never heard of Black Desert, I'm not about to go through the menu and click on every single random thing. You know what I mean? If it hasn't been introduced to me. So like a quest line or something like that would be kind of cool.
So make like a rookie Red Battlefield.
Yeah.
Once you reach level 50, because you need to be level 50 to enter.
Right. That was the other thing someone said. Not many people are I shouldn't say not many. There are some people who are unaware of what the requirements are for Red Battlefield.
Yeah. Which is, you know.
So gear capping and stuff like that.
Yeah. So I like the idea of that actually. So like you wrote it down, right?
Yeah. The gear score stuff?
The quest line to introduce Red Battlefield. So quest line to introduce Red Battlefield is actually pretty good. I really like that idea.
And gear score brackets?
Gear score brackets. Different maps give different rewards.
Ooh.
PvP rewards should always be intrinsic. like
Okay.
explain what you mean by intrinsic. Like, how would it be?
Intrinsic.
Yeah.
Okay.
Like, what is the internal reward? I guess intrinsic. Unless I've completely forgot what the definition of intrinsic is, which is very possible. It's been a long time since I've done philosophy. But, so there is open world PvP doesn't carry a reward as such. But what it does do, and the way that most people probably use it, is to just bully people out of your grind spot.
Yeah.
Which has the benefit of giving you the grind spot, and defending the grind spot against someone else who would come in and try to take that from you is like kind of the underlying benefit of open world PvP. Some people are just like, all right, I'll switch servers. All right, like you earlier.
Yeah.
Start smack talking someone.
Oh
and then
no,
you just switch
I trash
servers.
talk, and then they'll look at me and I was like, all right, I'm bouncing to different server. I'll find you later. You know what I mean?
Someone said, "Is this a PS4 only stream?" No. If you want to talk about PC stuff, that's fine. We did have Xbox last week, but we are mostly focused on PS4.
Yeah, but if you come from PC or if you come from Xbox and you have some things that you want to add on to the discussion, let us know, man. It's a good time here. Someone said something about class-specific battles, and I'm not sure how to make that work, like theoretically.
Let me just copy this. Razor sharp. I'm copying down your comment. I'm not going to talk about it right now. I was going to say deal with it.
Deal with it. Class-specific battles, right? So you can see how your I see it there. So you can see how your class fares against others. So I wonder, do you mean like
that's what the battle arena is for, where you can go there, find someone else, like to say, hey, anybody want to jump in the battle arena with me? I want to practice, or I want to do some fights. Generally, you'll find people who will just be there to do, like, more fighting and more practice. So you'll get people who will want to do, like, I want to be a ninja. Let me try against. I have to remember the classes. Lan.
Yeah.
Just pick the last two. Easy.
Yeah.
Or I'm a Lan and I want to try fighting a Zerker. Spoilers. Lan will never win. Okay. So that kind of like training and that like building up, it's something that you guys can do yourselves. And I guarantee you know someone out there who plays the game, who spams chat about wanting to fight people, and you know he plays witch, and you want to fight a witch, just provoke him. Just say, dude, meet me in the battle arena, let me clap you.
Or flag up.
Or yeah, tell me where you are, I'm going to flag up. Like, there's people out there.
Yeah.
There's probably one ranger, one Zerker, one warrior, and like, one of every class who's just like, you can just go up and just say, you're terrible at the game, and they will come to you.
Someone has a really good idea of a random PvE PvP idea. And it's something that me and you have talked about, like, in our free time, basically, of like what kind of things can we put in. So someone said, add a cave, put a random treasure in it, and tell people, go there, right? And then they fight for the treasure. Last one standing gets the treasure.
See, I thought of something like this.
We thought, yeah.
We were thinking of an event where basically we put a treasure chest somewhere in the desert. People have to basically PvP each other on the way there. And the first person there to get it gets the reward. Unfortunately, it's a bit difficult to do in practice.
Yeah.
Plus, because it's in the desert, everyone's going to go to jail. And we don't want to put people in jail because jail is a terrible place. So, yeah, like that kind of stuff there. Like, we've thought about it. We've considered doing it with the tools we have. So, when we consider events, we don't just consider, like, we want to do this. We have to consider, like, we want to do this with the tools we have. We don't want the developers to develop something that we're asking for like that. If we say, oh, hey, we want a chest that we can spawn in the middle of the desert that everyone PvPs over.
Right.
We don't want to ask that. We want to try to do that with stuff we have.
Agreed. Yeah. I do like that. someone just put it up. Lil Rojo, I like that name. Lil Rojo says is basically the oddball idea.
The oddball idea,
right?
Yeah.
You get the treasure, you hold on to it, you're slowed down, but if you hold on to it for a certain period of time, you win. Right?
Yeah.
Which I really like that idea. I loved oddball, so hopefully that works out.
So there is like Red Battlefield needs to have safe spawn areas to stop spawn killing trapping. Okay, so that's just what we're talking about. New modes like capture the flag, oddball, where you have to try and get it to your team, protect the VIP.
Yeah.
You know, the Zerker obviously is the VIP in every matchup. He will just like have to go from one place to another. We'll also think like me and you, like we sit around and sometimes we just throw out ideas at each other.
Right.
Like just like, you know, we're sitting there like, how cool would it be if there was a Black Desert mode where basically there's kill streaks and you become the Black Spirit? And like, you know, we just throw things out like that. Like, you know, we get it. And also queues and ranking and MMR, stuff that we are talking, we are talking.
Yeah.
We talk about it. We've mentioned it a couple times to the developers and it's always like, yeah, we know. It's something that we could, you know, something that we'll look into. It's never like we're going to do it because you don't want to make that promise, right?
Yeah.
But they're always like, you know, we know how people feel about it and it's something that we can look into, but we're not sure if we can apply it to Red Battlefield.
Right.
So it's slightly different. Yeah.
Chat-based damage indicator.
So basically giving numbers of damage. I know this has been a request. Okay, how long has Black Desert been out on PC? 3 years? And then 4.5 years? 4 or 5 years, let's just say. Since the dawn of time. Because time did not exist until Black Desert came out.
That's true.
Since the dawn of time, people have asked for damage indicators.
Yeah.
And it's still one of those things where people say, like, no. Like, here it's like, we don't want that kind of thing. Like, we don't want to push that style of gameplay. And I get it. Like, I do like not having damage numbers because I can just see, like, oh, I hit this guy. I took 20% of his HP in one hit. I'm going to be able to pop this guy.
Yeah.
When there's damage numbers involved, things get a lot more mathematical and a lot more like min-maxing becomes a whole new step above everything else. But it's something that we could ask, we can talk about. Something that I like the idea of, I guess.
Yep. I think we talked about PvP quite a bit. I do like this. Witrix? I'm hoping that's right. Yeah. That is something that our devs have said quite a while ago.
Yeah, it was in the global lab.
Yeah.
Wasn't added to the game on PC. That's especially PC.
Right.
So it says PvP in EU is dead. Make Karma Loss locked at 50k, which is not a good idea. And give incentives to veteran dedicated players to keep playing. So incentives to veteran dedicated players would boost PvP. That's kind of a PvE thing.
Yeah.
Like login events, playtime events. Basically just like there are events there for veteran players. Making Karma lock at 50k doesn't make Karma punishing enough, if that makes sense.
Yeah. I agree with that.
Karma should, like, flagging up on someone shouldn't be your first resort to solving the grind spot issue. I guess is what, like, you know, some people prefer diplomacy, and I guess more people on PlayStation and Xbox prefer diplomacy over just, like, going red.
Yeah.
However, we do know a couple of red players.
We do.
So, you know, it's hard, man. It's hard to change the karma system because it's, like, you know, it's ingrained in the culture.
Yeah.
And going minus 1 million is, like, you know, it's a hard climb back up. But now with the desert and you've got Mikan, it's not as punishing as it once was. You could always go to Mikan and just, like, you know, get your horse, repair your gear, You know what? Who can't use Meekan? Goody two shoes who are blue. They cannot use it. So I think it's an interesting idea of like just changing the open world PvP. Problem is, if you change it a little bit, it could have ripple effects.
Right.
If you make it too easy to gain it back, suddenly every spot will be contested. No one's going to talk. No one's going to say, hey, buddy, I'm only going to be here for another 5 minutes. I got another 10 kills to do in my guild mission. Just bounce. Just give me 10 minutes. It'll just be like, oh, I see that guy. I'm going to flag up on him. So it does have that negative. It can have that negative effect of just kind of ruining things. So, you know.
Yeah. There are no consequences. Karma. Yeah. I get how people feel about it.
I got a very sore throat right now, so it's kind of ticklish. Can we get a higher positive? Can we get a higher? Can we get an increase to the positive karma rate? So why can you not go positive 1 million?
One bad deed is all it takes to go bad, man. Like
karma's up. Everyone.
Yeah.
I'm not saying it, Costa. He's like giving me dirty looks. So.
But you thought it.
Yeah, you thought it. That's where your mind goes. Actually, I do like the idea of increasing the max limit of karma.
Not by an extravagant amount. But
Nah, make it like plus 10 billion. And then just have one beautiful month of nothing but killing people.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
That's terrible, but okay.
Nah, bump it to like 1 million, 2 million, let's say 10 million. And then you're just going to have a wonderful time.
You see people in chat are getting like sensible answers, and you're just like, nah, y'all don't know nothing.
You don't know what you want. No, we're not.
Ooh.
We're not going to start that.
What
Quest
about Black
lines to
Spirit
increase.
Quest? Black Spirit Quest. Go here. Do it.
I actually like that.
That's a good one. That's a really good one.
Ooh. Make a purge.
Purge.
All right. Oh, hold on a second.
All right, hold on. I got the
All
purge
right.
day.
You got the purge day?
Yeah.
All right. Karma increasing quests for goody two shoes who only kill monsters.
Yeah.
Okay, I like that idea.
Purge
Day would be unbelievable.
Purge day.
Purge Day, start everyone off at 0. Like, reset everyone's karma to 0.
Yeah.
And then just, like, say, okay, for the next 24 hours, go at it, lads. Go get some.
So wait, so during Purge Day and karma's not affected, would crystals and stuff still break?
Crystals only break in PvE if you die to a monster.
Or like if you get penalties and stuff for that?
Only,
is it
only PvE.
Oh, there we go. Okay.
As far as I remember. But turn it off.
No, like if you flag up and then you get popped,
I don't think you lose crystals if it's PvP.
does the grade not go?
I cannot remember.
Yeah.
It's been a long time since I looked at them. I don't PvP generally. I tend to just fall off mountains.
Wait, Purge Day with restricted amount of AP.
That's so Purge Day, possibly restricted amount of AP makes it difficult. If you're negative, you do lose crystals. Okay, you were right.
Yeah. But
that's only if you're negative. It doesn't matter
Yeah.
if you flag up. It's only if you're negative.
So if your karma is infected, it won't do it. It's just a straight up Purge Day.
Yeah.
Is that not our ship?
It kind of is. So Arsha isn't available on PS4 right now.
Yeah.
If you're unaware of what Arsha is is basically the PvP server where you don't have to worry about your karma going up and down. However, if we had a Purge Day and there was rewards for the highest amount of kills on other players just for 1 day. So was it no mobs on Purge Day?
I like how this is becoming an official term in chat. No, Purge Day. Don't study Purge Day.
So, I'll take this Purge Day because I actually really like this.
I like this idea.
And we'll talk about it, we'll refine it, and then we'll present it.
Yeah, because as Ardonat said, on mobile there is something similar to that.
Nightmare mode?
No, the Black Sun.
I don't know that mode.
I can't talk about it right now.
Okay.
But
Tell me later.
yeah, because it's in Korean and the Taiwanese version, so I gotta hold on to that. But yeah, it's basically a similar idea where it's like you straight up purge and stuff. Life skills would be like, all right, today's a day that we don't log in.
There's just like what, like Purge Day, that level 50 cap doesn't exist.
That's horrible, dude. No, the level cap has to exist.
No. We dropped the level cap by 10. So those people who are level 49 and life skillers can still be popped.
People are gonna wait in front of the gauntlet. Purge Day's coming. Bam, bam, bam. You know? Oh man.
That would be wonderful. All right. Okay, I can't see what's going on. All right.
Razor sharp, yes. No. Just no.
Drop it by 1. No. So yeah, drop it by 1 to 49. Nah.
You weren't thinking by 1. You were thinking remove it.
I would just sit in Western Guard Camp and farm.
Would you just wait behind where like they first summon Red Nose and just pop him with a meteor?
Why wait there? I'd wait where they literally spawn in at the first part of the game and just dominate. I'd just be the Zerka, I'd just spin and they just die.
This idea is not going to get far if we keep up with this. But I think a level cap sounds good. Maybe drop by 1.
So this is why like.
But cities don't. Yeah, cities. This is why we refine it. Cities are safe.
Shirna, you should Zerk on Purge Day to fix the Demi River and flood Western Guard Camp. Papa bless. No safe zones, only your house. Like everyone has different ideas, and the thing is, like, so.
What if it's Purge Day, like, but on not? It's not like a weekly thing, but it's like once a month. It's Purge Day. Lock your character in your house if you don't want to get killed. Like, get a residence.
I could just imagine, like, you have shutters and, like, Purge Day, you just kind of, like, go,
because
nope.
you can open the windows. Right?
You just, like, close the blinds down. Okay, so what I actually want to talk about with this, like, a lot of people are getting on this idea of Purge Day.
Yeah.
I want to talk about how it works when we go to the developers with ideas and why we refine first.
Yeah.
So if we come to the idea, if we go to the devs with the idea, we want to do a Purge Day. We want to make it so that everyone can kill anyone else, regardless of level, anywhere, anytime, any place, just for 1 day only. They're probably going to go no. Right? Because, you know, you got to think of the noobs. You got to think of the new players.
Yeah.
You got to think of the beginners. You got to think of the life skillers, unfortunately. No, I am a life skiller. I go in phases.
Yeah.
But, you know, you got to think of each of these things. And then, like, so what we can do, we can take it, look at it, go, okay, like, you know, I think reducing the PvP level was a little bit harsh.
Right.
But how can we make it different to an Arsha server?
Right.
So, like, we will discuss things like that, and then we go to the devs with, like, 2 or 3 ideas. And we'll say, like, look, we don't know if you're going to use it. We don't know if you know, if you've ever thought of this before, but this is an idea that we've had. What do you think? And sometimes they'll go, that's a terrible idea, i.e. the wrestler cast that we had.
Yep.
That got shut down quicker than anything else. I think it may have been the glass, like the costumes.
Yeah.
May have broke that idea. Especially the limited edition Stone Cold Steve Austin one that made the glass shatter sound every time you walked on screen.
That would have been awesome.
I think we kind of lost that. I think we lost them there. But, you know, we have, like, if you present 2 or 3 different ideas and give them, like, different styles, there's more chance of, like, that kind of thing coming in. Like, if you present, like, if everyone here is probably knows this, you go, what do you want to eat for dinner?
Pizza.
You're weird. So everyone has had that conversation. What do you want for pizza? What do you want for pizza? You got it stuck in my head. What do you want for dinner? And then it's like, I don't know. What do you want? Oh, I don't know. What do you want? But if you go, what do you want for dinner? Pizza, chicken, or ice cream? You know, you've given 3 choices there.
Yeah.
And like they can go, oh, you know, I don't want any of those. But now that you mentioned chicken, I kind of want Chinese food.
Wasn't ready for that flow.
No, you know, like General Tso's chicken.
But I see. Okay. Now I know what your train of
or
thought
chicken
was.
curry, you know.
Okay.
You know, you get that choice between those kind of
Yeah.
three things, and like it will spark an idea in someone.
Right.
So like you always talk about these things. Like we will discuss like this Purge Day idea. We can't guarantee that Purge Day is ever going to happen, by the way. But I do like it.
I think I'm getting lost in the conversation. But what we mean is like when you guys have ideas, like take for instance earlier in the VOA where we talked about dungeons, and people are saying dungeons, raids. If we take that feedback and we go to the devs and go, yeah, the people want dungeons, and they're like, okay, like what? You know what I mean? So when we talk about this kind of idea of Purge Day, and we're talking with you guys through the community and refining it and making it better. Someone said earlier though, for life skillers, just stay inside your house and cook. Like take a day off. Like
You just get a bowl of water in your house and you just get your fishing rod inside of it.
yeah.
Oh, that'd be glorious. You just get like 3 bowls of fish, like 3 bowls of water in your house. One's like salt water, one's swamp water, and one's fresh water. And you just put your fishing rod inside of it and you got a chance of getting a fish.
I don't think Purge Day should reset the karma, right? Insomniac. Ooh, that's a cool one. I don't think it should reset karma. I think when it's ignoring your karma on that day.
Yeah.
Right? It doesn't reset you to 0.
I do like the idea of having like a reset day. I do
Purge
like
Day.
I do like the idea of having a reset, like a forgiveness day.
Redemption Day?
Redemption. Oh, I like it.
What if Redemption Day is that you go from Trent to like Altanova carrying a box?
Carrying the trade packs.
Yeah.
With no clothes on and like an alien priest behind you ringing a bell going, shame!
This got real dark real fast.
Oh, I forget you haven't watched Game of Thrones. I forget that
I've never
all
seen
the
Game of
time.
Thrones.
No, but like they just ring a bell behind you just shouting shame the whole time. Shame! Ding 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 ding.
Are they allowed to use their like horses and wagons stuff?
No, they gotta walk.
All the while hearing shame.
Yeah.
And
exactly.
if they also have a penguin out, they're gonna go crazy.
No, but you think about it, the further you get on your penance walk, the more karma you restore.
Okay, but someone just put up though, wouldn't people just go red the day before Redemption Day?
It'd be 2 days of Purge Day. 2 days. But yeah, I mean, I like these are ideas that you guys have planted these ideas.
Ooh, I like this. I'm gonna put Redemption Day in there too.
Yeah,
Like,
Redemption Day, downgrading the announced. No, Costa. We talked about this earlier. So Costa is a GM here.
Yep.
And he was like, "Oh, gear cleansing was added in the update that happened yesterday for us."
Yep.
I was like, "Did you not read the patch notes?" He's like, "Yeah, I did, but I must have missed that part." I was like, "It had a big header, dude. A big header."
I made that header.
He was like, "Oh, I'm just gonna go die," and then he was like, "Oh, I don't need to do this anymore. I don't need a negative karma."
Oh, man.
Resetting karma lets the griefers get away with it. If I had 1 million karma from defending guildies and farm my butt back to 0, yeah, I mean, I get that. I do get that. Like, Redemption Day is probably never going to happen, but they're gonna grief anyway.
What if it's a random day? Like we don't announce it unless you're in the server, as the server announces it. Today only. Go redeem yourselves.
Go
You
Redemption.
shameful monsters.
Go Redemption.
Yeah, but that's most likely not going to happen. But I do want to build on, I want to build this idea somehow.
Naruto on to Area 51 in the desert. Area 51 in the desert is the underground temple that is better than Histria. I don't know if that exists, but it does now.
Okay, I think we
could call it Area 51. Area 52.
Area 52.
Area 52, because it's one better than Area 51.
I like that. I like that a lot. Yeah. Okay. Let's move on. So, we spent a lot of time on redemption and Purge Day. So the next question, Costa.
Go.
There it is.
Yes.
Right? What content would you like to see expanded on? So during our survey, these results were very different from the Xbox users.
Yes.
Right? So you want to go over them?
So they're very different from what we had in the last Xbox survey, but they're very similar to what we had in the
first one.
First Voice of Adventurers. Oh, by the way, we never really touched on it. The reason why it gets a bit dodgy on Voice of the Adventurers is because the first one was kind of a mess.
Yeah.
We wanted to keep the spirit of Voice of Adventurers alive. So, what content would you like to see expanded upon? So, Xbox was like 80% of things that make the world feel alive. PlayStation, 11%.
Yeah.
More classes, 47.8%. PvE was 29%. PvP was 4.2%, and guild and party content, which is kind of a bit of both, was 8%.
So with this question, I just want to put this out there. This doesn't mean that I'm looking at this and being like, yeah, everyone wants more classes. The majority of people want more classes. This question to me is more like the priority of what people want to see expanded on first. Or most importantly, I want this to be expanded upon. So even though you may have voted for more classes, it doesn't necessarily mean you don't care about PvE content.
Yeah, or you select PvP content.
But that doesn't mean you don't care about PvE content.
Or guild party content.
Exactly.
Yeah. So 47.8% of people wanted more classes. So we got 2 more classes in the last update. More classes will be coming.
Yeah.
That is without a doubt. We're not going to release the details of the survey because for the PlayStation users, for the PlayStation version of the survey, because it was all on one. Basically, you chose either Xbox or PlayStation. You went that way. I will say that actually, Lon and Ninja were top 2.
Yeah.
Pretty much. And the other classes kind of filled in the rest.
Yeah.
So we're going to take a look at that. We're going to say like, okay, maybe this, and this. But we'll use that to kind of base where we're going to release the classes.
Right.
Was Valkyrie on there?
Was Valkyrie on the server?
I can't remember.
I thought we got rid of that.
Oh yeah, we got rid of that. That's deleted out of the game.
Valkyrie will never come.
Never come. Never.
Sorry, we should explain this for people on PlayStation. Shirna, why do you hate Valk?
They're trash. She's just a red-haired warrior, literally no redeeming features whatsoever. Apart from the fact she has a lance. That's alright.
That's pretty cool.
That is pretty cool. Everything else, nah. Valks. I don't know. Actually, I don't remember why I started hating Valks. I just remember I do hate Valks.
So on stream once, I think I said like, what class are you not looking for? This is like when Xbox first released. Which class are you looking forward to? And then which class are you not looking forward to? And Shirna randomly just said Valk. And I was like, why do you hate Valk? No reason, I just do. And since then, this hatred has become like real.
It's consumed me.
And it's infected other people, me included. Like, I suddenly hate Valk, like just by proxy. And suddenly I keep saying things like, oh yeah, Zerk does need more buffs, you know? Why? You don't even play it. I know. It's
Look,
weird.
man, Valk's cry and Valk's advice. That's all I need to say, man. Valk's cry, Valk's advice. If someone cries and then gives you advice, it's useless.
Wait,
I know it's a different Valk. I know, guys. Before people get crazy.
Wait, but what if the Valk is crying and is trying to help you not go down the same path she went down?
Why is she crying?
Because she went down a horrible path.
She went down the horrible path.
And is giving you the advice to not go down the same path.
Well, then she should stop crying and speak to me like a normal person.
Jesus.
There is a black hole where my heart should be.
I'm so sorry. All right, back to the survey.
Back to the survey. So more classes. So we take that to mean basically the classes that are, out for other places. So out for Xbox, out for PC. So that's what we when we see that more classes, that's what we see. We also know that there is the need for fresh classes. Which we managed to do with Shy for Xbox. Hopefully we could do something similar for PlayStation in the future,
Yeah.
where the class can come at the same time as everyone else.
Right.
But that's there's no date on those kind of things. That's kind of in the distance.
Classes are coming. You don't have. We're not going to be like you'll never see this class. The same thing with Valk. Valk will come eventually. We don't get a say as to like locking Valk away or anything like that. But
we can poke.
We can keep poking. And then so from more classes. Is there anything else?
Was the otter class in the survey? No, it wasn't, unfortunately.
There wasn't the otter class in the survey. Man, that took a life of its own.
Have we brought it up with them yet?
Which one?
The otter class.
I brought it. It was born in the Xbox Discord, and then it carried over to the PlayStation Discord, where they're just like, "Hey Trent, what are you working on?" And I showed him a picture of a horrible otter with a fishing pole, and I called him Terror Otter.
Oh, Jesus. Okay, someone's asking about tier 8 and tier 9 horses. Like that could come in on, I guess, the next topic, which is PvE content in this. All right.
This is we're gonna be talking about a little bit more seriously about this one.
Yeah. So this is something serious that there is an issue with Xbox where we did say they were coming.
Yeah.
And we said they were in the game. Turned out someone actually turned that feature off.
Yep. And there was a reason behind it, but what happened was
there was a miscommunication.
We were under the impression that it was in. There were other people who were also under the impression it was in. There were people who were not.
Yeah.
Right? And there was miscommunication involved, and that function was turned off due to like development issues with rolling it out.
Yeah. So invisible walls happen as well when you're moving too quickly. Now we experienced this with GM armor. I don't know if I could say it, but I don't care. GM armor has a set of boots that make you run ridiculously fast. It allows us to get to places we need to be on time, whereas we don't have to hit the loading screens. I can tell you without a doubt that the invisible walls PlayStation suffers are nowhere near as bad as the first time I ever played Black Desert on console.
As a GM?
No, without the GM shoes.
Oh, okay, yeah.
You would run like 10 meters and hit a wall.
Yeah.
So it does get better.
Yeah.
So when we release things like Tier 8 Horse, we have to make sure that the game is rendering quick enough where Tier 8 horses won't hit invisible walls.
Right.
So PlayStation's coming into the issue where they're hitting invisible walls already. So we have to look into that, improve that situation.
Before rolling out this content.
Yeah.
For those of you who are here from Xbox, we truly do actually apologize for that miscommunication that has happened.
Yeah.
We're looking into a way to rectify that situation as well as compensate people for what they went through. Yeah. For PlayStation, same thing. Like with the invisible walls that are happening now, which is something we're talking about in the next question.
Basically stability.
Yeah. In the next question we'll talk about, but rolling out Tier 8 horses when there's optimization issues like this seems like a dumb idea. To be blunt, it's a very dumb idea.
Yeah.
Right? So let's figure that out first and then go from there.
So someone said, what's the highest tier right now? I believe 7 on both.
I'd have to double check that. Jim Costa?
7 on both? Highest horse tier? No comment? Okay, yeah, we get it. It's most likely 7 on both. I think 7 would make sense.
Yeah.
7 makes sense on both because, they do face the same issues. So, Tier 8 horses will obviously come before Tier 9 horses. So Tier 8 horse will come first. Once we get the optimization down, once we tweak the horse a little bit. So most people notice this immediately if they play PC.
Yeah.
Console horses are generally slower.
Yeah.
Especially when going through towns, there's a speed limit. We talked to the guards, we paid them a bit of money, and they introduced speed cameras.
Yeah.
To try and make money from people. So if your horse goes too fast past the speed camera, that's why you jump. And then they can't see the license plate on the back of your horse. So they jump. And that's why you can go faster jumping than by walking.
I was following this conversation. And then I looked away for a second. I was like, wait a minute, how did we get to this part of the conversation?
Okay, so tier 8 will come. Dream Horses, which is tier 9.
Yeah.
That's a whole different kettle of fish. No idea. That's going to come once we get tier 8 sorted, optimized, making sure everything works. Tier 9, don't even want to think about what is going to go there, but it will come eventually. There's just a lot of, I don't want to say tricks, but there's a lot of things that have to be modified and improved upon first before we can even think about bringing in tier 9. So we know people want the Dream Horses, the Doom Horse. We know people want it. It's not going to be available for a while. Just know that we want to add it. We just can't right now.
Can I get my horse to fly while being on? No, sorry. So people on Discord, I don't know if this is a meme, but people on Discord have been DMing me like, I'm a lawn and I have Nimbus Stride. Why can't my horse fly?
All right,
it's just like, it doesn't work. It doesn't work like that.
She walks on top of the wind. Does the horse sit on her back? Like, does she have to carry the horse like a backpack if that was going to happen?
More things to make the world feel alive.
She's just like jumping on the breeze and like she's carrying the horse on her shoulders. What was that? There was a show that had someone carrying a horse.
What?
There was a whole TV show that.
Chat, help us out. Is there a TV show where someone was carrying a horse?
I got Google here. Why? No, we gotta look here. Okay, so yeah, basically that kind of stuff.
Indian movie.
Indian movie. I mean, may have been, but I'm pretty sure I saw a movie where someone was carrying a horse. But that's how Nimbus Stride would work with a horse. Like, that's the only way it would work, because if she's riding the horse and she uses Nimbus Stride, she's going to step on top of it.
Right.
To get the height. Family Guy.
Family Guy?
I believe it was Family Guy.
I like how the other ones are...
Someone who said My Little Pony. Right? Okay, I have 2 daughters, and even my 2 daughters don't like it. I'm not a fan. Not a fan. Not one of those people.
What are they called?
Bronies.
Those are males who watch My Little Pony.
It's adults.
Or adults are called.
But I will say, like, I have watched so many different kid shows.
Yeah.
That I'm kind of, like, you know, disappointed my kids didn't like My Little Pony, because it's something that I think they would enjoy, and they didn't. Broke my heart. You know what I introduced to them that they did enjoy, that I didn't think they would enjoy? Pokemon. I seriously thought Pokemon they wouldn't enjoy it, and they did. Okay. Anyway, back on topic.
More classes we just talked about, right? PvE content we've talked about earlier in the stream about how we want to expand it, how we want it to get done. More things to feel the world alive. Do you want to touch up on this a little bit?
SpongeBob also carried a seahorse. I knew I'd seen this more than once.
I hate SpongeBob.
What?
I hate him. Like, I genuinely hate him. I hate him in every language that I've seen him in. It started in French, then I saw him in English, he was more annoying. Then I saw the Korean version, and I was like, how is this worse?
Wait. Do you hate SpongeBob the character or SpongeBob the show?
The character.
Oh, that's okay, because all the other characters are good, right? Squidward, you understand.
Squidward, I have an affinity to.
Yeah.
Right? Squidward I have an affinity to, and the little thing.
Okay.
Right?
All right, let's get back on topic.
Yeah.
Let's get back on topic. Okay.
Right.
So,
we were talking about more things to make the world feel alive.
So that was only 11% of the content, but that's more PvE stuff as well. So let's actually merge this together. How can we make the world feel alive with guild party content and PvP? So these are the last 3 topics here. So if you have any ideas, like we did take a lot of ideas from the Xbox stream. If you have any ideas to make a world feel alive, or you have an idea for guild party content that isn't just someone shouting dungeon raid, and PvP content. Now, we talked a bit about PvP content before. So if you have any ideas on those kind of things, hit us up. Let us know. PvP battleships. Now we're talking like when you have the little board and you got like A3.
Oh,
Hit.
actually, this is something someone brought up once in Discord, and I kind of want to float this by you and everyone else, right? You know how there's like the taverns in BDO or in Black Desert where you can go to the towns, there's a bar, you can talk to people, right?
Yeah.
What if you had like mini games in there, right? Like a dart game or cribbage.
Or dominoes.
Ooh.
Actually, no, we couldn't do dominoes. We couldn't do cribbage either.
Yeah.
That's dominoes would probably be considered gambling. I
What
don't
about
know.
darts? Would darts?
Darts can work.
Yeah.
Pool can work. But I mean, actually, there is a guy playing darts in Camasilvia, so I want to say that darts would be okay.
There is a dartboard in Heidel.
There is.
Yeah.
Chess. This is the year
Whoa,
2000.
whoa! Everyone, drinking contest, poker, beer pong. Just, oh my god.
So beer pong wouldn't work,
Yeah.
because drinking alcohol itself puts us above teen, where we are now. I keep seeing the wardrobe there, and I swear to God, it keeps looking at me. There's a hat and a shirt on top of each other. In the corner of my eye, it keeps looking like someone's staring at me. Anyway,
You want that?
No. Drinking games would be really difficult. to
Yeah,
play.
it'd be really difficult to deal with.
Chess is actually pretty
drinks.
good.
Chess.
Oh.
Purified water pong.
Card games would be pretty good.
Card games would be kind of cool.
Yeah, so it said dartboard in Old Wisdom Tree. That's what
Yeah.
I was saying. Purified water pong.
Literally, like, so with ratings,
So
I
you're
don't know.
just drinking germs, basically. With water pong.
The thing with where, because someone just brought it up, like you give workers beer, right? Ratings aren't dependent on like the word being there. It's dependent on what's being shown,
Yeah.
right?
And
And that's the biggest
yeah.
difference.
So if you're literally there just pounding beers away, that's bad. But if you're just... I tried to think of a way I could say this where it doesn't sound even worse.
Yeah.
That's like if you give your slaves beer to make them work harder and longer. But no, like it's a lot to do with...
Yeah, beer is drinkable. I know.
Yeah,
Right.
we know. But,
Yeah.
like, you know, it's a lot to do with the way that it's done.
Yeah.
And if there's effects and if there are buffs and bonuses, and it depends what the buff and bonus is. It's ridiculously complicated, and I know because I kind of submitted both the SRB and
Yeah.
PB. It's complicated, it's hard, and it's not up to the person submitting, it's up to the person reviewing.
Yeah.
And then it depends. Like in Europe, drinking alcohol in a game isn't as bad as it is in America.
Yeah.
Like cursing in a game, they're kind of even, but there's a lot of things which they're very different between. The
Yeah.
European ones are a lot more relaxed.
And to keep it consistent between the both versions.
Arm wrestling would be hard, but I like that idea.
Yeah.
You know what would be great? I think we talked about this before. Like a skill game, like the fishing thing.
Yeah.
That gradually just gets harder and harder and harder, like more inputs. So it's something
Yeah.
that you start as 1-2.
Yeah.
And it's 1-2-3, 1-2-3-4, and then it builds up.
Yeah.
Don't know how you could introduce that.
But I'd like to kind of think of this idea and just kind of flesh it out more.
Hopscotch.
Hopscotch?
Hopscotch.
Yeah.
It's like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. And you have to go back. And you have to do the same thing backwards, but it doesn't change the display. You just have to read it backwards.
And then if you fail, you fall, you break a crystal.
Let's put that one to rest. Horse racing is a pretty good idea.
Yeah. Horse racing is a good idea.
It is in the game, I believe, but I don't know if it's ever coming to us.
Yeah.
We don't know if that's coming. I do like the racing game.
Horse
Horse racing would be fun. Horse racing could be considered, like, this is the weirdest thing about ratings. Having horse racing in a game could possibly be considered gambling.
Just by even having the two words together.
Yeah, because it like
The connotation, not the definition.
yeah, it's if you're teaching someone to play a game that they can then use to bet. If you're teaching people the rules of poker, that's bad. That's considered gambling. But if we're playing Triple Triad, greatest side game ever created. If you play Triple Triad, it's very different because it's not a real game. All right. Anyway.
CM Valterra, 2 shy enter, 1 shy leaves. What is happening?
Shy Fight Club. But this is PlayStation. We don't talk about the shorter classes.
But I like this though. Keep those ideas coming, right? I do genuinely like this idea. That being said, let's go to our next part, which is
I don't know. Yeah,
priorities.
Yeah,
right?
Priorities. So, what should be prioritized?
So when we say what should be prioritized, the question was specifically in terms of updates, right? Mm-hmm. Yeah. So in terms of updates, what should be prioritized? And a lot of you called it in chat. You want to go over it?
Yeah, 52.9% asked for stability. 27.9% asked for new content. I'm pretty sure that's supposed to be 37.9. There's something missing there. It was like the way that it should be done.
Yeah, way.
There's a couple of different things there, but those are the two biggest ones. So game stability, new content. Game stability, we know we want to work on that. We do submit, this is the thing. It's not like we just have ignored every bug report from before this stream. Like, we didn't just go, ha, look, he's got invisible walls, ha, sucker. Yeah. No, we legitimately do report everything. We collect, collate, report.
Yeah. When it comes to bug reports and stuff like that, I'll say this from a CM perspective, right? Because you and I see this in terms of reports. Our CMs in the, once again, chat also see this. When someone sends a report, very often they say, everyone is having this issue. And most of the time, sometimes it's like 2 people, 3 people, 300 people, 1,000 people, right? But
there's no in between.
But the word everyone is used so liberally.
It makes it hard for us to do the reports.
Right.
Because, if someone comes to us and says, everyone is having this problem, what we then do is monitor everywhere else for that specific issue. So if someone says, everyone's having the issue where they're not getting Pen Kazaka on 0 fail stacks. Now, I know this is a bug. Not a bug, sorry. I know it's not a bug. You're not going to get a Pen Kazaka on 0 fail stacks. Unless you literally walk on water.
Unless you're GM Costa. Just like...
Let's not talk about GM Costa's enhancing luck. Okay, so if something like that happens, it goes from everyone's not getting it, and we know, that's just a joke. Yeah. But then if it's something where, everyone is suffering from losing 10,000 silver from their inventory, we will take that seriously. We don't, because if money is leaking there, it may leak bigger.
Right.
So we then look, do we see this anywhere else? We check CS tickets, we check Discord, we check forums, we check basically carrier pigeons, we check in-game chat.
We check everything we can.
Everything we can to try and do it. And then when it turns out there's only 3 people suffered from it, and they didn't even lose 10,000 silver, they just accidentally bought a potion.
Yeah. But those are, again, that's not every case. So this kind of question was to see what kind of content would you guys like to see prioritized. And when we've asked in previous streams, like dev streams, the people who are watching the streams were saying, well, content, give us my content first, give my content first. Everyone is waiting for so-and-so class, so-and-so mode. And then we did the survey, and game stability came out. Like someone mentioned in chat that optimization is a thing that needs to be done. When you get knowledge, it freezes a bit, right? And where to go? Invisible walls. Same thing with the invisible wall stuff, right? So when people say, I hit invisible wall here. For those of you who are in chat right now, for me, I hit the most invisible walls when I'm in Calphion. This is prior to Valencia, sorry. Prior to the Valencia update. I hit the most walls in Valencia when I'm on a horse. And it's a tier 5 horse. And when I get reports like that, and CM Valterra and Linksy can also attest to this, when we get reports like that, it's easier to send that over to devs, right? So same thing with game stability. we've always seen these reports. We've been gathering it up, and then seeing this as a concrete number, right? And having you guys talk about it in chat, it's wonderful.
Also, people saying like freezes when leveling up. We know about that stuttering issue. We know about it. It's been reported. It's been looked into. It's unsure why it's happening. Like, consider it the difference between like it's never happened to us before.
Yeah. And
it's hard to just like hard to find out where that's happening. So we are taking a look. Someone said turning the camera with the left analog stick, is it a bug? There should be an option in settings.
Yeah.
If there's not, I'm gonna kick someone in the shins. There is a setting. I can't remember where it is. It was introduced a while ago, and I think there's a setting that stops that from happening, and it should be working now. I remember Xbox had the issue. Yeah. So Calpheon, So Calpheon is a very interesting city for an MMO in the fact that it's massive, and it is filled with a lot of NPCs.
Yeah.
So, you know, that's something that we're going to look into. Maybe we could just kick that elephant into the water and just, like, you know, not have the war elephants around, or maybe have them march out of Calpheon.
Right.
Maybe that would reduce it. So there's things that we're going to, like, you know, we are looking into. The developers are definitely concerned about this.
Yeah.
It's something they are looking into a lot. And the more detail you can give when sending a report, send a ticket to CS helps immensely. If you contact one of us, there is a chance that we can't see it, or we'll see it 3 weeks later. Like, you know, it's hard to send it to someone, but sending it to CS generally means that it's getting looked at.
Yep. Same thing someone just said about UI, disabling UI elements and stuff like that. This is all stuff that we've been talking about. And the mods are going to take all this feedback. We're going to get it. We're going to translate it, word it right, and talk to the devs about these kinds of things.
So someone said, like, the UI.
Yeah.
If we could disable elements of the UI. This is something that we understand.
Yeah.
Changing the UI for Black Desert console is a little bit more difficult, and that is still freaking me out.
Yeah. What?
The shirt and the hat over there looks like a person.
I'm going to close that. You want me to close that?
No, it's fine. It'll just annoy me a bit more. So yeah, turning off the UI elements, something that we, you know, it's been discussed. Like, what kind of elements? So I want to ask you guys, like, before if we have a meeting about this, what kind of elements would you be willing to turn off? What elements should stay? Because I mean, you can turn the elements off.
Right.
You can just turn them all off. So what elements should stay? What elements would you remove? I know a lot of people say, like, I knew that was coming as soon as I said it. Nickname. Hiding the name above your head. Maybe hiding the HP bar above your head too. Because there's already one in the corner.
Yeah.
So I can see that.
So with that, because we talked about this in the office, right? There are some GMs that we talked to, they're like, yeah, this makes sense. Like, I don't need to see 2 health bars. Get the one away from on top of my head. And Ultanova said, I want the one above my head. I don't want the one in the top left corner. I don't need that. Right?
So that's quite difficult. So
enlarge the minimap.
Enlarge. So an option to toggle the minimap. So to go from
okay.
I guess that's to go from, like, non-existent minimap, which would be a terrible idea to play, to, you know, just increasing the size of it. Like, so you have like a medium and a large. Like right now it'd be a medium. I like that. So yeah, Hydro nickname. Why does Musa have dash on R2? Just does. We know that Sorceress is uncomfortable with forward Nightcrow. It's something that we keep talking about. We keep going, guys. Like, seriously, forward Nightcrow. Fix when. And we're like, that's the answer we generally get. So it's kind of hard.
How about a movable minimap?
Movable minimap would be difficult.
Yeah.
In terms of, like, everything has its... So
UX-wise, I wouldn't like it.
But you could put it somewhere you would like. So for me, I played years of StarCraft. When that minimap isn't in the StarCraft location, I get confused as heck.
Okay, that makes sense.
Like, it's so hard. So someone said fully customizable UI. It's not that possible on Xbox and PlayStation 4. I know you can do it for PC, but fortunately, it's not as feasible.
Yeah, you're heavily limited by the controller itself.
Yeah.
Right.
So you can turn things on and off, but yeah. Yeah. Okay, so.
Yeah, I like that. UI checklist, same thing. I think I shouldn't. No, I don't want to shoot that one down. I think with a checklist, if you guys come up with stuff like what you don't want to see, what you think should be, what things that you can toggle, because there's certain parts of the UI that I would say that every adventurer should have, like as basics. But I want to figure that out. Like, what things should all players, veterans, intermediate players, and newbies all need?
I think minimap is one of the ones. I like the idea of just having a list of things you can turn on and off.
Yeah, I like that. Like a list, right?
Yeah, just a list. Turn this off. Turn this off.
Yeah.
Turn this off.
More options to add into ring menus. What do you mean by more options?
I completely disagree. I think we're.
That came off very aggressive. What do you mean by more options?
So like I've had this thought that like maybe we're relying a little bit too much on ring menus, like using it as a bit of a crutch, and not finding other ways to get menus into the game.
Right.
That's how I feel about it, because I don't really use the ring menus apart from skills.
Okay.
Potions and now food. So like I consider it. It's hard to do.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'm going to touch on this. We want the same content as Korea at the same time they get it. If you want the same
This is PlayStation 4, by the way. This isn't...
Yeah. So you are getting the same content as Korea PlayStation 4.
That is actually true. PlayStation 4 content is the same.
It's the exact same.
If they're talking about PC...
PC's
I mean, we get them to beta test it, man. Yeah. Actually, I have no idea how it
works. With PC content, we're eventually... Yeah, see, that's what I mean. So, with PC content, all the stuff that is there, we're looking at ways to try and bring that to us. But when the economy doesn't support it, and economy meaning not just pricing in the game, in terms of silver and central market stuff, but also meaning player economy, which is leveling, skill level, burden of learning new things, that kind of stuff, right? So it's kind of a bit more difficult with that.
Just want to say, someone put option to rearrange the menu for quicker access. We don't have a mouse. How are you going to move this stuff around as easy? It's going to be a lot of setup.
I think the way that he or she is envisioning this is, you know how in inventory you can hold an item?
And then just
move it?
Yeah.
And then it pushes down.
But then the inventory UI doesn't work the same as the menu UI. They are very different UIs. But again, decent idea. Moving things around, turning things off. You can't use ring menus inside your houses. Yeah, we know. That's something that I personally complain about.
Yeah.
Because I don't want people to come and try and find me while I'm like, cutting wood, and smashing chicken. I want to do that. I want to smash chicken in the privacy of my own home. I could have said that so worse.
That sounded kind of weird.
I could have said it so much worse. So someone that Skyward said, Shadow Rabam, Soak's Rabam skill. This is Xbox.
Yeah.
We know it's I believe it is something to do with the way the ring menu is set up to use skills. So it's been looked into. Okay. Savage Rift or Arena of Blood PvE content that you can bring. We know we want to bring it in, and it's something that we really want to bring in, and maybe continue to develop on those kind of things. Like, if you guys, so this is the thing, if you guys like content, if you like something that comes out, or you think, okay, I like the idea, the implementation didn't work. Don't just say something sucks. Don't just say something is good. Like,
Yeah.
if you just say something sucks, it's gonna look like, you know, we take it and it's gonna be like, okay, negative reactions all around.
It's not just that. What I mean is like, on our end, it's more if someone says something sucks, and we take that to a dev, this sucks. Oh, okay. Well, what sucks about it? It's the same thing with when we promote content from users.
Yeah.
Oh, they want more dungeons. Okay, what kind of dungeons? So when someone says that this is an issue, the ring menu is an issue. Okay, cool. Tell us what it is. Give us as much detail as possible so that we know how to relay that to our team.
Yeah.
Right? And it works better that way because there's a bunch of communication involved, right? And learning how to be human. And it's nice that way. Same thing with the invisible wall stuff, right? This is becoming faster and faster priority, and we knew about it really quickly because people in Discord forum, SNS somewhat, because there were a lot of one-word answers there, and now people give detailed responses. Here's what happened, here's how it happened, here's like the horse tier that I was riding on, right? And
I'll answer that question, the Hell Soul one.
oh, okay, huh?
Yeah. Okay.
Oh, let me go from there before that,
you
right?
keep going, yeah.
This being said, is there actually a chance of these things being implemented? No, I'm going to you.
Okay.
Right? Is there actually a chance of these being implemented? Does PearlAbyss really care about their non-Korean fan base?
Right. Jeb Costa.
Do you care about us?
He put out a heart symbol. Okay.